Elon Musk, when was it, last Saturday, when this crazy bastard Musk signed on with his fellow Nazi Donald Trump and James, the pet ape. I've got a new name for Elon. I'm going to call him Leaping Lizards. If you're Leaping Lizard, if you're old enough, you remember the Little Orphan Annie cartoon strip in the newspaper. This is before the Broadway show and the movie, and Getty had it. But Little Orphan Annie, was, as the name implies, a little orphan girl, and she became the ward of a capitalist killer, although we didn't know it at the time, named Daddy Warbucks. I mean, the name, when I was a kid growing up, I used to wait until I could get the papers in the morning to go deliver to my customers. I couldn't wait to open it up and read the comics page, the funny papers we called them, right? And Daddy Warbucks, Warbucks, I didn't take the name apart. War, profiteering, war money, death money, Warbucks. But Little Orphan Annie had a favorite expression when something would surprise her. She would say, "Leaping lizards." Well, that applies to Elon Musk, henceforth and here on, as far as I'm concerned, because of the way he was jumping up in the air on the stage with the orange vomit. And the orange vomit stood there, didn't know what to do. Trump could no more jump up like that than he could sprout wings and fly. This obese pig, he could barely move up and down steps with the help of Secret Service. But anyway, what I noticed that really struck me when Musk appeared with Trump was the hat that Elon Musk was wearing. I don't know how to describe it except to tell you it is the same black hat that was worn by the apartheid police, federal police, in South Africa during apartheid, during the reign of P.W. Botha, when thousands upon thousands of black Africans were butchered, gunned down in peaceful demonstrations, shot dead by the thousands. And the police force in South Africa wore these black hats. They had a bill in front and kind of round, not like our baseball caps at all. It was a distinctive look. And I had completely forgotten, who's going to remember a hat from an apartheid regime from, 4 decades ago. But when I saw this crazy fucker Elon Musk, Leaping Lizard, on the stage with Trump in that hat, all of a sudden, wham! I mean, it just hit me like, holy shit, he's dressed like a South African apartheid cop. Which, of course, that's what attracted Musk to Trump to begin with, because Musk understands that Trump is to the bottom of his rotten fucking soul, Trump is a racist hater, a racist son of a bitch. But so is Elon Musk. Elon Musk, you have to remember, is an immigrant via Canada from South Africa, where he spent the first 18, 19 years of his life. And during that time, he was steeped in, stewed in, absorbed by apartheid, by the policies of the South African government that was worse than the policies in this country during slavery, because the Botha government had no problem in gunning down, slaughtering hundreds, if not thousands, of black Africans. And that's the furnace out of which Elon Musk walked. And I don't give a shit about his SpaceX or his Tesla. I don't care about any of that stuff. Yeah, he's got great engineers working for him. Okay, good for him. He is a fucking racist thug. And that's why he has now attached himself as J.D. Vance did, as Steve Bannon did, as all of these people did to Donald Trump. And it was an interesting piece about, I think it was at MSNBC, how Elon Musk showing up at this rally for Trump, he has now sealed his legacy. This guy, Elon Musk, at one time he was seen as a real-life Tony Stark. You know who Tony Stark is, yeah. Marvel Comics, he was the Iron Man, right? He turned into the Iron Man. Tony Stark. But as Eamon Moyaldin, one of the writers at MSNBC, as he pointed out, Musk will now be known as the man who traded in his reputation and his self-professed principles to bend his knee to Donald Trump. Now, his principles, anybody who absorbed the strictures of apartheid, who accepted racial superiority and racial inferiority among what the whites consider to be lesser races, that person has no principles worth a damn. They have principles, if you want to use that word, that dictate their behavior, but their behavior is geared to racism, superiority, denigrating or demonizing people who are not white. If those are principles, well, I guess I need to change my definition. How about you? And as Eamon does a podcast. It's called Ayman, A-Y-M-A-N. And on a recent podcast, he pointed out that 2 years ago, when Elon Musk bought what used to be called Twitter, Musk vowed to keep it a non-biased platform. Right. In fact, that was in his mission statement. Just days after he bought the platform, Elon Musk said, quote, "For Twitter to deserve public trust, it must be politically neutral, which effectively means upsetting the far right and the far left equally," end quote. Elon Musk, you phony little prick, you. It was a message, though, that he said that frequently in interviews after he bought Twitter. Maybe you remember some of that. He told Fox News, he told the Fox sewer, quote, "The goal of the new Twitter is to be as fair and even-handed as possible, so not favoring any political ideology," end quote. But, gee, did that turn out very quickly to be, like everything associated with Trump, bullshit. And especially from a racist son of a bitch like Elon Musk. Now, Musk then met with Trump, who at the time just happened to be looking for money to help his campaign. Of course, Trump is always looking for money. He would sell his own children if the price was right, which means over $50 a pound, he would let them go. And instead of just giving him some money, Musk used his immense influence on his own platform to tell his followers to vote for Republicans in the 2022 midterms. That didn't go over too well, did it? He also voiced support for the little pig bastard who runs Florida, Ron DeSantis, in the Republican presidential primary. Another one who looked at Trump as some kind of an aberration, some kind of a cretin, but now likes to leap around on the stage with him like leaping lizards. But while all that was going on, after Musk bought Twitter, there was one prominent Republican that Musk said he wasn't a fan of, and that was, well, the orange bastard. Musk had previously said that Trump was, quote, too old and that he should hang up his hat and sail into the sunset, yada, yada, yada. And as we all know, Trump didn't take that advice very well. In 2022, during a rally in Alaska, Trump addressed Musk's comments, and he told the crowd that Musk said he voted for Trump in 2016. of course, Trump will never pass up a moment to tell anyone within listening distance what a wonderful person he is and how people voted for him and worshipped him, right? But anyway, that started the feud, and the orange bastard escalated that little feud when he took to his own media website, the little toy Truth Social, and claimed that Musk came to the White House begging for his help. They always come to Trump begging. You notice, according to Trump, right? In 2022, Trump wrote this on his little toy social media platform. He wrote, quote, "I could have said, drop to your knees and beg, and he would have done it." End quote. Whew. So now what does Musk do? He leaps, he jumps, he flies through the air like a bird. Yeah. And the orange bastard also would go on to savagely mock Trump's glitch-filled campaign launch for Ron DeSantis on X. You remember that? Trump loves to see other people screw up. Not that he ever has, right? Anyway, but after the campaigns of Musk's preferred candidates, DeSantis and also that crazy bastard Rosanna Ramaswamy, when those campaigns for the presidential nomination went down in flames, well, all of a sudden, Musk took a spring trip to Mar-a-Lago, and in March he met with Trump, who just happened to be looking for all that money right then to help with his campaign or whatever. And then after that, Musk was asked about the meeting and if he'd donate money to Trump or to Joe Biden. And he told CNN's John Lemon at the time, quote, while I'll voice my opinion, I don't want to put a thumb on the scale monetarily that is significant. That's what he said at the time. Of course, that didn't last long, right? And he also told Don Lemon, quote, I'm not sure about dark MAGA. I much prefer comedian Dick Drucker's interpretation, dork MAGA. Right. Okay. Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. You know, the Progressive Voices Network brings you commercial-free commentary from today's leading progressive radio hosts and pundits, like me, Mike Malloy, 24 hours a day. I'm not your typical old guy from the 80s or the 90s talk radio host, and Progressive Voices is not your typical talk radio network. It's a listener-supported nonprofit with no corporate control whatsoever over our broadcast. So hosts like me, Mike Malloy, are free to rant and scream and carry on about whatever we like. We're often controversial, but we're never boring. Weeknights, 9 p.m. in the East, 6 p.m. in the West on the Progressive Voices Network. Always progressive, always on. I'm Mike Malloy. Keep it lit.